Did your relationship start on a magical note, but now, months or even years later, there's been a huge shift in the wrong direction? Now, instead of telling you how amazing you are, your partner is shaming you, often without telling you what you did wrong or without any valid reasons. And your efforts to connect are met with irritability, insinuations, accusations, and passive-aggressive behavior. Are you suddenly being dismissed, shut down, and rejected other than when they want something from you? If so, your partner may be suffering from narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD for short, but there could also be other explanations for this negative shift in their mood and behavior. I'm Lise Leblanc, a therapist, author, and life coach, and today I'm talking about 10 conditions that can resemble narcissistic personality disorder, but that are actually quite different. I often have clients that tell me that they had a great relationship for 2 years, 5 years, maybe even longer, and then suddenly their partner turned into a narcissist. And this should be your first clue that something other than NPD is at play, because NPD doesn't just show up one day years into what was once a relatively healthy relationship. Narcissistic personality disorder is characterized by a long-standing, pervasive pattern of narcissistic behavior and symptoms and presents across a variety of contexts. Narcissists project an air of arrogance and/or vulnerability to mask their deep-seated insecurities. This is a defense mechanism to compensate for low self-worth. And although a covert narcissist may be able to conceal their narcissistic traits for a while, especially at the beginning of the relationship, you can be sure that once the love bombing stage is over, you will meet a very different version of this person, and you will be subjected to their narcissistic attitudes and behaviors. So, if your partner mysteriously starts behaving in highly narcissistic ways after years of being a relatively healthy, stable, reliable, and respectful partner, or maybe now you're thinking they've always had some odd traits and behaviors but don't really seem to fit the criteria for NPD, well, here are 10 other potential explanations in no particular order. And if you have other explanations or thoughts, things that I didn't cover, please feel free to add them in the comment section below. Okay, so the first thing, the person might be under high stress or extreme pressures. Sometimes when life circumstances overwhelm our coping abilities, our nervous system gets dysregulated. High levels of stress hormones can influence cognition and executive functions. And so in times of high stress, you might become more focused on self-preservation, potentially behaving in self-centered or demanding ways, but it's situational. It's not a constant and inflexible personality trait or behaviors. Second thing, your partner may be having an affair and is emotionally attached to someone else. If this is the case, they may be justifying their affair and blaming you for any of the relationship problems that led them to having an affair. And when you believe that someone is deserving of punishment, you can easily slide into narcissistic attitudes and behaviors towards them. Third thing, when there is an overload of resentment in a relationship, it can lead to defensive behaviors and to a desire to protect yourself emotionally. This can manifest as behaviors that appear self-centered and maybe even manipulative. Number 4, communication breakdowns. So when issues are not addressed openly or they can't be discussed directly and honestly, a person might resort to manipulation tactics to get their needs met. And again, this could be interpreted as narcissistic. Number 5, cultural norms may encourage people or reward them for individual success, self-promotion, and this could lead to behavior that is narcissistic without necessarily indicating a personality disorder. Also, in the age of social media, people might adopt narcissistic behaviors in order to fit in or get attention online, even though these behaviors do not necessarily reflect their true personality offline. Number 6, other personality disorders, especially cluster B, have overlapping symptoms and traits. So for example, some of the behaviors associated with BPD, like mood swings, rage episodes, or low self-worth, may be mistaken for vulnerable narcissism. And the attention-seeking dramatic displays of someone with histrionic personality disorder could be interpreted as grandiosity. Number 7, addictions. So people who are in the throes of a serious addiction tend to display manipulative behavior to get their drug of choice or to hide their addiction. And in their efforts, they become self-centered, manipulative, as they prioritize satisfying their addiction above all else. And so they tend to break promises, ditch their responsibilities. But their narcissistic behavior is driven by addiction rather than a personality disorder. That said, these two disorders are often co-occurring. Number 8, other conditions. So for example, sometimes individuals with autism can be mistaken as having narcissistic traits due to struggles understanding social norms, nonverbal cues, and the give and take of social interactions. People with autism also have intense interests, and they may talk extensively about these interests. This can lead to behavior that is self-focused and which could be mistaken as narcissism. They might also have sensory sensitivities, and this can affect their reactions to certain stimuli. This can lead to behavior that, again, seems narcissistic, but is actually a way of managing sensory overwhelm. Another example would be individuals with ADHD who might struggle to regulate their emotions and to control impulsive behaviors, which can make them seem disengaged, restless, maybe even rude, and could be misinterpreted as narcissism. Number 9, thyroid dysfunction. So thyroid problems such as hypothyroidism can lead to increased anxiety, irritability, and mood disturbances. And these changes might make someone appear more self-absorbed, more sensitive, resembling some of the aspects of NPD. Number 10, other hormonal changes. So hormones play a crucial role in regulating various aspects of human behavior, mood, and cognition. So fluctuations in hormone levels can influence your self-perception, your emotions, and your behavior. And it may cause you to appear to have narcissistic traits. So for example, testosterone is a hormone that is associated with assertiveness, confidence, and competitiveness. An increase in testosterone levels can lead to behaviors that appear more dominant, and they can mimic some of the aspects of narcissistic personality disorder, such as grandiosity, a need for admiration, or even aggression. Estrogen, on the other hand, is known to have an impact on mood and emotions. So changes in estrogen levels, particularly during certain periods of the month or stages of life, can lead to heightened emotional responses, irritability, and mood swings. These emotional fluctuations might cause behavior that appears self-focused, unpredictable, and again, resembling narcissistic traits. So again, there are other explanations if your spouse has suddenly changed. And again, diagnosing a personality disorder requires assessment and diagnosis by a qualified mental health professional. There are many factors that contribute to human behavior, and so what appears to be narcissism on the surface may have a different underlying cause or explanation. If you found this video helpful, please comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. And to learn more about narcissistic relationships, please click on the link above.